Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. Today's reading is titled, What Makes You Attractive? And before we get into that reading, I do want to give a short message. We have a full moon in Aries today, October 17th, 2024. And Aries energy is about fresh new beginnings. Think about it. Whenever we have the spring season, Aries energy is very potent and it's about things coming to fruition, things being birthed, things blooming. Aries energy is also about being ambitious and being motivated and driven to create the reality that you want to live. Aries can also represent, that anger type of energy. So be mindful of arguing with people, just pay people dust and keep it moving because it's not worth losing energy trying to argue with people. So you may even find people trying to, bait you with conflict, but just, ignore it because I promise you, it's not worth your energy. Learn how to turn your anger into wisdom, turn your pain into power during this Aries full moon. Channel your inner warrior. Alrighty, we have 3 powers for you to choose from. You are welcome to pick more than one, but remember to please pick using your intuition. I'm going to give you all a second to select the piles that you are drawn to, and then we're going to go ahead and get started with pile number 1. Alrighty, we're going to go ahead and get started with pile number 1. So pile number 1, what makes you attractive? So if you hear any noise in the background, pile number 1, I am shuffling, okay? So I'm going to shuffle these cards. I have some channel messages. I'm going to shuffle a few cards first, and then we're going to read the channel messages. I'm going to read half of them. So I'm going to read half the channel messages in the beginning, and towards the end of the reading, we will complete it with the rest of the channel messages, okay? So spirits, tap me into pile number 1. What makes them attractive? What makes them attractive? What makes them attractive? Makes them attractive. Ooh, okay, so you have some good cards here. So I'm gonna leave that be, and let me read these channel messages for you. Pile number 1, what makes you attractive? Your eyes are very beautiful and they draw people in, okay? Also, I feel like you're fun to, party with, have a few drinks with, and to have a good time with. Like maybe you're shy at first, maybe you're more the reserved type. But when you drink a little bit, you lose your anxiety and your real personality comes out and you're not like inhibited and afraid to talk to people. Like I feel like you may be very sensitive to energy, pile number 1. So, you could feel like shy around certain people. You could feel awkward because you're picking up on energy, but it's like whenever you, drink, it's like people have fun with you and you're the type to make people laugh and uplift people. Like you're that person that has a vibrant personality at the party. You're the life of the party, pal number 1, and this is what makes you attractive. You're also somebody who's very much in their feminine energy. So you could wear a lot of um, things that accentuate your feminine energy, and if not, it's just you radiate a lot of feminine energy. So you could be a Cancer, or you connect with the moon a lot, okay? Maybe you're somebody who likes to talk about astrology and moon cycles, and people find that to be attractive. Like your mind is attractive, pile number 1, okay? So with your cards, that's half of the channel messages. We're gonna come back later. With your cards, the first card you have was the Tower. So I feel like you shatter illusions. I feel like you shatter people's illusions that they have of themselves. So if you're somebody who's very good at astrology, I feel like you could tell people about their zodiac sign and you give them a lot of insight on who they are. It's like you make people want to discover themselves and to know themselves because I feel like you're somebody who you're very analytical. Pile number one, you like to psychoanalyze a lot of things and get to know yourself and others, and you just like to understand like why people do what they do, why this world is the way it is. Like you're very much somebody who questions things, but you also like to understand. I feel like you may create your own theories, okay? And this is something that people find attractive. So your intellect is on another level here. Your mind is on another level, and it's something that people find attractive because we have the hanged man. So I feel like you see things from different perspectives. Like you're not that person that you just see something from one perspective. Like you can look at things from different angles. And this is something that people find attractive. You have the three of wands here. I feel like you like to expand, you like to learn. So you could be a Sagittarius or a Gemini, because I was picking up a lot of that kind of energy, like the axis of Gemini and Sagittarius. So that may be in your birth chart or just energies that you exude, even if you don't have these placements. There's a lot of Sagittarius and Gemini energy because there's a lot about you learning and teaching. There's this balance, okay? And people find it to be attractive. You like to expand your horizons. You could be somebody who has multiple degrees or multiple certificates because you've studied a subject. And this doesn't have to be college. This could even be like your own business, Metro Tech. Like there are so many different energies coming through. So please take what resonates, but that's what makes you attractive. It's the way you think. Okay. Let's pull some different cards. We're gonna see what makes pile number one attractive. What makes pile number one attractive? It's just something about your eye contact here, okay? Your eye contact. If you're a man watching this, okay, if you identify as a male, your beard is attractive, okay? Women really like that. So if you're a man watching this, I feel like your facial hair is attractive. Look, we have mustache. So again, if you're a man, like your facial hair is groomed very nicely, people find this to be attractive. I'm still shuffling, by the way. There's something about your hair that's very attractive, pile number one. Maybe you keep your hair covered a lot, and when you finally show it, it's very beautiful, very voluminous. That's what I'm hearing, voluminous. You could have very thick hair, very dark hair. Okay, take what resonates, but your hair is very prominent. Even if you dye your hair or you like to do different things with your hair, there's something about your hair that's very prominent and it makes you attractive. Pull some more cards. So we got two cards about you being beautiful. Your physical appearance is something that makes you attractive. I feel like a lot of people, this is a side note, pile number one, but a lot of people are thankful for you. So if you're feeling like unappreciated, a lot of people are very grateful for your presence. Okay. So whatever work you're doing, whatever you're creating, or let's say you're taking care of people, or you just, you feel like you're always doing more for other people, they want to let you know that they're thankful for you. They're thankful that God created you. Nobody compares to you, pal number one. All right, what makes pile number one attractive? We have the fifth house, Leo. Leo deals with hair, okay? So children. So if you take care of any type of children, let's say you work at a daycare, like people find it attractive how, you're such a good parent or you're very good with children, okay? Also, you're very fun. You're fun to be around. You could have a really nice aesthetic or you could be skilled in art and beauty. That's what makes you attractive. You could also be somebody who's very romantic, and I feel like when it comes to your relationships, you could be very creative. You could be the type to write people love letters and put it in their mailbox, or like you do things that are kind of old fashioned, but they're still romantic to you. And again, remember when we kept saying beauty? So you're very, very beautiful. Your skin could have a glow to it as well, especially with Leo energy, because it makes me think about light. So your skin could glow, and people find that attractive. We have Libra, a lot of beauty. And then you know what? Now I see shaved face. There's something about I never get these kind of cards, so there could be somebody watching here who normally doesn't watch. Or there could just be more men watching at this time. Okay, because we have something with a shaved face, but we have Libra energy. So you're very beautiful. Your aesthetic is very beautiful. Like you dress very nice. Because I'm hearing you clean up nice. Okay. Still shuffling, by the way. Oh, so somebody here could have nice hips, so your hips make you attractive. We have Sagittarius. So I was talking about that earlier. I was picking up a Gemini and a Sagittarius energy. Because you like to learn, but you also like to teach. You could like to talk about religion and philosophy, or you could just be very educated here. And this is something that people find attractive. Maybe you travel a lot and you are well versed on different areas in different states or countries, even. And this is something that people find attractive. You could be studying abroad, or you could be somewhere where, like, you are a foreigner or a minority and people find you to be attractive in that place. Like, have you ever seen those videos where they're like black in Japan or I'm in Germany? And, it's people from different races going places where normally like other people wouldn't of their race wouldn't be there. You know what I'm talking about. Like they have the videos where people come from the United States and they go to places like Canada or they go to Africa. Like they go to different places and they live there and they document it. So you could be like what is it called? It's something like that. I think people who go different places. Let me see. Because the word is there, but it's not all the way there. Okay, it's called an expat. Yeah, like you may travel and do things like that. And the word expat is spelled EXPATS, just in case like I'm pronouncing it in a way that is confusing. So that just describes a person that travels and lives in different places. Because I'm hearing gypsy. So yeah, you could move around a lot too. And the people that you are around, they find you to be attractive. Maybe if you're getting on a plane, like the person on the plane finds you attractive. I'm getting like when you're traveling or on your way, maybe you stop at a trucker stop and it's like the person at the convenience store found you attractive, like you're very beautiful and you leave a lasting impact, especially with the style, your style. Like your outfits are like people are like, oh, I wonder where pal number one got that from. So now we're gonna move on to some different cards. We're gonna have these astrology cards here. We're gonna pull some for you. So I didn't pull beforehand, pile number one, so that's why. But don't worry, the messages will still be amazing. Pile number one, spirit, what makes them attractive? Oh my goodness, we have Leo in the ninth house again. And these cards literally they flew out. So you are definitely a Sagittarius. You love to expand. And it says spiritual values. Maybe you share your spiritual values. Okay. Maybe you could be a content creator where you share your spiritual values. Okay. I feel like you expand people's minds with like the theories that you have. You are confident. Okay, this is something that people find attractive. Like you express yourself, like the way you express yourself is something that people find attractive. It's also entertaining to people, especially with Leo coming out twice. Like I feel like the way you tell stories, the way you give advice, or the way you explain something, it has a kind of like a comedic flair to it. So even though you're being dead serious and you're giving people life changing information, it's still funny, it still makes people laugh. And this is something that people find attractive about you, like your humor, your skills in comedy. Okay, people find that attractive. Somebody could be born on the 9th or the 18th. Well, we have Scorpio here. So again, you like to talk about things that are taboo. You like to confront like dark issues that society likes to hide from. I feel like you communicate about things like that. It's like you pull the rug from beneath people's feet, and it's not in a negative way. It's like, let's look at the truth. Okay. Let's look at what's up underneath that rug, because have you ever seen those movies where, and I know I'm using that in a different connotation because usually when you're waiting for the rug to be pulled from your feet, it's like in a different way, but I'm using this in a different connotation. So have you ever seen those movies where there's a rug and there's like something underneath it, like a passageway? There's something like that, like a passageway. It's like what's underneath this rug? It's like you're that kind of person. Like let's see what's up under there. Let's dig deep. You know those little kids, pile number one, who when their parents say clean up your room and then they don't, they push it all up under their bed and everything else around looks clean, but it's like when you open the closet, when you open their dresser drawers, or when you look under the bed, there's trash, there's clothes, there's shoes, there's miscellaneous objects, and you have to dig all that out to really clean it. It's like that's the analogy the spirit is showing me, like you like to get to the bottom of things. Like you're very detective and investigative. Like if you're in college, you could be studying like criminology, or you like to know why people do the things that they do, especially when they do dark things. So you could be somebody who you watch documentaries about people who are serial killers, or it's like in a psychology type of way, like you want to know. Because I'm hearing like Hannibal Lecter, like if you know who that is, like it's like you want to understand like people's mental point of view. Okay. You really investigate things and people find that seductive because you teach them things. It's like I feel like you also just help people understand how to protect themselves spiritually. So somebody could be a spiritualist here, and this is something that people find seductive but also attractive. Let's get into these channel messages, and then we're going to end the reading, pile number one. So pile number one, I feel like you help other people out a lot, and that's something that is seductive. You may also cook very well. Some of you could be a chef, but if not, it's like you cook on a chef level, like you use the best ingredients, or you may be somebody who uses a lot of like gluten-free or organic products, and this is something that people find attractive. I feel like if somebody has a food allergy, like you're very accommodating of people. You have really good hospitality, especially if people come to your house or you host, like you're a good hostess. Pal number one, this is something people find attractive about you. Maybe you create or you decorate like parties and stuff, like or baby showers, and people find this to be attractive. You are very creative. People find that attractive. Okay. You could be a homebody as well. And I'm picking up like you could turn people on, like sometimes like unintentionally, and this is something that they find attractive. You have three songs by Janae Aiko, so you could be a Pisces or just have Pisces energy or placements within your birth chart. The first song we have by Jhené Aiko is called Come On. The second song we have by her is called Trying to Smoke. And then the last song we have is her featuring Schoolboy Q called Sex Drive. So yes, pile number one, you are seductive. Okay. Because in those songs, there's an air of seduction, but also you may like smoke, or vape or something or whatever, and like people find it seductive when they see you do it or how you do it. Okay. Take what resonates because that may only resonate with a few of you. But yeah, people find it seductive because maybe you add herbs to it, or you're more of somebody who's into like plant-based medicine, and people find that to be attractive. So that was your channel message. Oh, also like people feel as though they could have a stable relationship with you. So I feel like people may fantasize about you a lot. Pile number three. And I feel like people create different versions of you in their mind. It's something called the halo effect. Okay. But yeah, pile number one, that is what makes you attractive. We're gonna move on to pile number two. So pile number two, what makes you attractive? I'm going to pull some cards first. Then we're going to read half of the channel messages, and then we're going to read the other half towards the end and wrap up the reading, okay? So I am shuffling. I didn't shuffle beforehand, so it's going to take me a minute. Just be patient, all right? So pile number two, what makes you attractive? What makes you attractive? Let's see. Yeah, the Four of Swords. Okay. So you're very peaceful. Pile number two, I feel like you intentionally live a peaceful life. If something costs you your peace, you don't mind to remove the person, the thing, the place, or the situation. Like peace is a priority for you, and that is what makes you attractive. We have the Ace of Cups. I feel like you pour a lot of love into yourself. Like you could be on a self-love journey. And it's like the more you love yourself, the more you do not tolerate people who, violate your boundaries. The more you love yourself, the more you just don't do certain things. And the more you just don't tolerate certain people or behaviors. And I feel like you've wrapped up a cycle, pile number two, and this is what makes you attractive because you're pouring more into yourself than other people. Like you're learning to fill your own cup because there's literally a cup on here. It's like you're learning to fill your own cup rather than waiting on other people to do it for you. Oh, so we have the hangman. We got the hangman in pile number one. So I'm using three different tarot decks for each pile. So this is actually a different tarot deck than what I used in pile number one. So the way that you can look at things from a different perspective, the way that you review things, I feel like that makes you attractive. I feel like you're the kind of person that you move on. You don't wish people bad. Like you have a high level of emotional maturity, and this is something that people find attractive. Why is pile number two attractive, Spirit? We have the Page of Swords. So I feel like you encourage people to look at things in a different way, to think about things differently. And again, I did say you completed some cycles because the page energy is a beginning type of energy. I feel like people may also like want to have conversations with you. Like your voice could be something that makes you attractive. The way that you communicate, like the sound, the cadence, you could be soft spoken as well. And this is something that people find attractive. Right. So I'm switching to some different cards here. So, Spirit, what makes my pile number two attractive? What makes pile number two attractive? What makes pile number two attractive? Oh my gosh. So we have forgiveness here. So I literally just talked about it. Like you're able to move on. You don't allow situations to hold you back. It's like your peace is more important than what happened 5 years ago with Susan. Okay, take what resonates. That's just an example, but it's like you're going to forgive, but you're not going to forget. So you're not the type of person, pile number two, where it's like when you forgive somebody, you don't allow that person back into your life. Like some people feel like, oh, I forgive you, so you can just come back into my life. But you're like, no, I forgive you, but that doesn't mean that you get a re-entry. Like forgiveness doesn't mean a re-entry. It just means we've absolved this situation and it's water under the bridge now. We've let bygones be bygones, but it doesn't mean that you will have access to me. So you have strong boundaries here, and this is something that makes you attractive. We have power. So, and then it's like these cute little hearts, and then these peace signs. There's literal peace signs. So again, you represent peace. You can have a hippie type of energy too. Pile number two, and this is what people find attractive, but it's like you're somebody who you stay grounded in your energy. You have a lot of strength, a lot of power, and you grow from difficult situations, and people have seen you transform time and time again, and this is something that makes you attractive because it's like pile number two, they can't quit you. Like that's what I'm getting, like your energy is unfuckwittable. Like they can't get to you because you've mastered so much and you've healed from your past that it's not gonna bother you anymore. Oh, we have don't take it personally. So what makes you attractive is you don't take things personally. Like, again, you forgive, you move on. You don't sit there and allow other people's projections to have a negative imprint on you. You just keep going and you just understand. It's like you have a high level of like grace. You give people a lot of grace, pal number 2. Like, you give people a lot of grace because you just understand, and when you have that understanding, it's like you don't get mad or give people a reaction because you know why people are doing things, like, either they're on a low vibration, they're dealing with trauma, they're triggered, they have insecurities, their shadows are coming out, they haven't done shadow work. It's like you understand, and you know that when people behave a certain way with you that may not feel good, that it has nothing to do with you, it's about that person. So you have a lot of wisdom when it comes to handling people in conflict. We have worthiness. So you know your worth, you know your value. Like I said, you've been on this self-love journey and you're discovering yourself. I feel like you learn something about yourself like very often and you just dive deeper and deeper into who you are. I feel like you don't seek validation and your worth is dependent on you. This is what makes you attractive. Like you are somebody of value. People see you as a high caliber person, and this is what makes you attractive. We have gratitude. So you're somebody who, you're very thankful for what you have. You're very blessed. You could also be somebody who has really good manners. And this is something people find attractive. On this card, this person is showering, but also it's a radio. It's a radio. So it's something about your voice. Maybe you like to sing or rap, or you're into music in some way. People find this attractive, but you may take really good care of yourself, like you have good hygiene skills, and this is something people find attractive. Okay, we're gonna move on to some different cards. Spirit, what makes pile number two attractive? What makes them attractive? What makes them attractive? What makes my pile number twos attractive, Spirit? Make them attractive. What makes them attractive? So it could be your chest area. Okay. Your chest area makes you attractive here. People find it attractive. Makes pile number two attractive, Spirit. Makes pile number two attractive. So I didn't even go into the channel messages like I said I was, pile number two. I'm gonna get into them. Hold on. What makes pile number two attractive? I'm just shuffling. I'm just getting the cards so we don't have to keep shuffling every time. Okay. So I'm gonna read some of the channel messages. So pile number two, what makes you attractive is that there's this softness about you. There's a softness, but there's a duality because you also know when to be assertive. And this is just something people don't expect from you because you are that person that is soft. So people can kind of look at that like, oh, that's timid, or that person isn't going to speak up for themselves. But you end up, defending yourself and advocating for yourself. And pile number two, you could be the type of person where people find your anger to be sexy. Okay, so that's something that make you attractive. You could wear a lot of black, or you could have a lot of tattoos, and this is something that makes you attractive. You don't tolerate BS, and people respect you. Okay, this is what makes you attractive. So we're going to get into the rest of these towards the end. With the cards that I recently just pulled, we have Capricorn. So you stand on business. There's this emotional maturity to you. Okay, you could be younger but seem older. Okay, this is something that makes you attractive. That Capricorn energy. You could be in a leadership position. Okay, you could be in some type of role where you're advising other people, and this is something that people find attractive, or you make a really good salary. The next card we have is Alia. Are you that somebody? And I say her name like that for the people who may listen and like, why are you saying it like that? Alia, that's how you say her name, because in an interview she said it's pronounced like Muhammad Ali. So you know how the last name is like that ah sound? Her name is Alia. And if you don't believe me, research it, okay? But anyways, are you that somebody? So I feel like people look at you like you're the perfect candidate for a relationship because you're stable. You have a good head on your shoulders and your mental health is up to date. It's like you take care of your mental health. That's what I'm picking up. Or maybe you like there's something about that, like you take care of yourself and people feel like you would be a good partner because you're not going to be coming with all that baggage. I feel like you've done a lot of healing and people find that to be attractive. Then we have the 11th house, which is Aquarius energy. So people find you to be very unique and friendly, okay? Very friendly. Um, Also, like you're very good with networking. So somebody here could have their own business. And this is something people find attractive. You could be a business owner. You could do something online. You also could give back to your community because the Aquarius energy is also about humanitarianism. I feel like you also reject societal norms in some way. Like you're like a rebel, but you don't make that so obvious. And this is something that people find attractive. Okay. What makes pile number two attractive? So I'm going to pull some more cards, okay? What makes my pile number twos attractive? So we have Virgo energy. So you take care of yourself, you take care of your health, you take care of all forms of your health because I'm picking up mental, spiritual, emotional, physical. I feel like people at your workplace may find you attractive because you may keep to yourself at work with the Virgo energy, or you just may be quiet and you just, get your work done, but you do good work. Like whatever you do, whatever business you have, like you are a perfectionist when it comes to it. So it's always going to be really good work. Some of you could even be like a waiter or a waitress, and people find you attractive when you come to their table. I'm picking that up. That could be for like one person or like somebody specifically. So take what resonates. Spirit, what makes pile number two attractive? We have Libra. So you're beautiful. Not only are you beautiful, but you're balanced, you're fair, you're able to look at situations from a fair standpoint, and you're somebody who likes justice, okay? I feel like you receive justice when people do you wrong, but I also feel like you have a lot of integrity and you don't, you're not the type of person where you want to intentionally harm people. And this is something that people find attractive. You could be like a socialite, okay? And people find this attractive. Like you could be a social butterfly. I feel like you have a balance of being like reserved with that Virgo energy. And then also, if you work somewhere, you have to get into character. Or if you're a business owner, it's like you have to network. You have a skill of communication. Okay, this is something that makes you attractive, but I still feel like you keep to yourself. You don't really hang around a lot of people. Like you're not always in the mix. Pile number two, and this is something that like people find attractive because I keep hearing MIA, MIA. This song by Omarion called MIA that may resonate. Look, Mercury, communication. Okay, you bring people to different awarenesses. That's what makes you attractive. You could have a lot of banter. You could be very witty. You could have really quick comebacks. That's what people find attractive. Look, we got Sagittarius. So a lot of this energy already came out in pile number 1, so you may resonate, but if not, then it's okay. So with Sagittarius energy, you speak the truth. This is something people find attractive. Like you're that person, part number 2. You're like, if they're not gonna say it, I'm gonna say it. And it's not like you do it in a mean way. You're not cruel when you're speaking the truth, but you are assertive, you are blunt, and you tell it the way it is. But I don't feel like you're doing it in a way that's trying to disrespect people. It's in a way that teaches them, because Sagittarius is the teacher. It teaches them. And I feel like what makes you attractive is the way you believe in yourself too, with Sagittarius energy, the way you believe. I feel like you set certain goals for yourself and you're able to meet them, because somebody here could practice archery and that's attractive, because on this card, the Sagittarius represents the archer, and it's like the archer is shooting and is pointing at a certain location and a certain target, and it's hitting those targets. So it's like there are certain goals you have reached, certain successes you have accumulated, and this is something that people find attractive. The next card that we have is Cancer. So again, it's like this shell type of energy. Like you get in your shell when you don't have to do business or work, but when it comes to work, it's like you have different sides to you. Again, I did say you had a duality to you, and this is something people find attractive. I feel like with the Cancer energy, people want to nurture you, okay, because you work so hard. And Cancer and Capricorn are opposites, so again, that duality is there. People want to take care of you. I feel like you work so hard and you do a lot of things on your own. I feel like you may work independently, pile number 2, and people find this attractive. So we have Mars energy here. So yeah, you know how to advocate for yourself. You know when it's time to speak your truth or when it's time to put somebody in their place. It's like you have that energy, like I said, your anger could come off as sexy to people, because you may not be the type to always get mad, because you like to protect your peace. But when you do, it's like people are like, wow, pound number 2 put me in my place. Like pound number 2, have you ever seen those people who like when they're held accountable? Like let's say them and their partner get into it and they're like, "Ooh, he put me in my place," and they get turned on by that. It's the same kind of energy here, pound number 2, where people really like your anger. Because I'm hearing this song what when Billie Eilish, I think it's called Bad Guy, and she was like, I like when you get mad. So it's something like that, okay? And then we have the 7th house, Libra energy again, balance. Okay, Libra and Capricorn are cardinal signs, so you're in a leadership position for sure. And if not, you're heading towards that way. You could also be somebody who's very intelligent. You may be a really good writer or poet. The way you express yourself is very beautiful and articulate, and this is something people find attractive. So let's get into your channel messages. Let's finish them up. So you also have like a certain body rhythm. It's like the way you walk and how graceful your movements are. This is something people find attractive. You're also somebody who's kind and you don't judge people harshly. People feel like they can open up to you. This is something that people find attractive. You are generous with your time, your money, and your energy. This is something people find attractive. You give good advice and help people realize that all they have to do is just be and be themselves. I also feel like you also have the kind of beauty that makes people compare themselves to you, but that's not your fault. You're very open-minded. We talked about communication, very beautiful, very pretty, very handsome here. That's something that makes you attractive. Also, I feel like people want to see you. There was something about people hoping to see you in public, like people that you don't really see that often wish that they could see you more often. Okay, so you can have some secret admirers. Number 2, people who secretly admire you. Okay. But that is the channel messages. Oh, two more things. You did get some songs. We have Rihanna Skin and Natalie Laros Around the World. So those were your channel messages. Thank you for tuning in. Pile number 2. Mwah. We're going to move on to pile number 3. So pile number 3, welcome to your reading. Today we're going to be looking at what makes you attractive. And I don't have any cards pre-shuffled, so guess what? I'm going to be shuffling. I'm going to shuffle a few cards first, and then we're going to read the first half of the channeled messages, and then towards the end of the reading, we will read the rest of the channel messages. Hopefully, I follow through with that because in pile number 2, I have forgotten because I was so deep into the cards, and I'm like, okay, I need to talk about the channel messages. So hopefully, we get it right in this pile. So if you hear any background noise, that's just me shuffling. Right away, I'm picking up like what makes you attractive. Pile number 2. I mean, not pile number 2. Look, you may resonate with pile number 2. Pile number 3, what makes you attractive is just how sure you are of yourself. I feel like you're very self assured. This is something that people find attractive. You don't really allow a lot of people into your inner circle. It's like, being chosen by you is something that people really crave because I feel like your time, energy, and attention that you give to people is scarce. It's like you're like a butterfly. It's like now they see you and now they don't. So, Spirit, tap me into pile number 3. What makes them attractive? What makes them attractive? Ooh, we have the sun card. Ooh. So starting off with the sun card again, then we talk about like you being sure of yourself, your confidence. That's something that makes you attractive. I feel like you just light up a room. Maybe you wear a lot of colorful clothing. There's something about your energy that's very radiant, and people find this to be attractive. So we have the 7 of Cups. So it could be a lot of people who want you and have crushes on you. It's like a lot of people want to be near you and be around you, and people find this attractive. You could have a lot of suitors as well, and people are like, "Oh, I wonder who's going to end up with pile number 3," because they're all competing for your attention, but you barely give it. So it's like when you give it to them, it's like your energy. Let me explain it like this. Pile number 3. It's like if somebody was in the desert for like 3 days straight and they didn't drink any water, and they get some water, and it's like let's say it's some good, nice, ice cold water, okay, with a good pH balance on that. It's gonna taste amazing. Like, let's say you got done with a workout, right? And you drink that cold water, it's amazing. It's like that's your energy. Pile number 3. It's like very refreshing, very, relaxing. And that's something that people find attractive about you. Spirit, what do people find attractive about pile number 3? What makes them attractive? We have the 2 of Cups. People want to be in a relationship with you. They feel like you are marriage material or just like relationship material. Like people see themselves having a commitment to you. Spirit, what makes pile number 3 attractive? What makes my pile number 3 is attractive? The 6 of Pentacles. So remember, you don't really give so openly, but when you love on somebody, you give to them. I feel like you are that person, pile number 3. Like people have to take their time getting to know you because you don't just open up like you're not an open book. Okay, you're not an open book, and this is something that people find attractive. You're not always very giving with your time and energy, but once you get to know somebody and once you feel as though they are trustworthy, they get to receive this 6 of Pentacles energy from you because you are very loving, you are very helpful and kind, but you just understand that you have to have boundaries because pile number 3, you could have experienced like people taking advantage of you. So you have more boundaries and you have more rules on what you allow in your life and what you don't. And people want to be a part of your inner circle. So it's like it's this energy of I'm here and get with the program. It's like you make people want to grow and change just so that they can be in your life because they know that in order to be in your life, they have to be doing something. They have to be growing. They can't be stagnant. I feel like your energy is very motivating too, and this is something that people find attractive about you. 10 of Cups, yes, the 10 of Cups. So, like, people can see themselves having a successful relationship with you, but also you're somebody who's very successful. Okay, people could see themselves like having a family with you. especially if they are attracted to you. All right, we're gonna pull some different cards. Pile number 3. What makes pile number 3 attractive? What makes them attractive, spirit? What makes them attractive? What makes my lovely pile number 3s attractive? What makes them attractive? And I'm shuffling cards at the moment. Okay. So before we get into these cards, let me read the channel messages. So pile number 3, you are somebody who's very unique. You have your own style, lingo, and way of being and interacting with the world. So some of you may resonate with pile number 2, but others of you, you may resonate with pile number 1 because they are also in that Aquarian type of energy, being very unique. You also have the energy where people want to give things to you, even if they don't know you, pal number 3. So people like to give you gifts because it's something about your energy where they want to give to you. It's like a royal type of energy. Okay, so also what's attractive about you is your masculine energy. Okay, and I feel like people get obsessed with you because you don't give them too much information about yourself. So we're gonna finish the rest of these channel messages towards the end. Okay, so now let's see what else the cards say. So we have follow your heart. So what makes you attractive, pal number 3, is that you do things out of authenticity because you really love them, not because you feel like you have to because of society, or it's because it's gonna make you a lot of money, or it's because it's gonna make you appear a certain way. I feel like you do things out of the purity of your heart. And this is something that people find attractive. We have impermanence. It's about like life always changing. And I feel like what makes you attractive is how you get through the storms, how you navigate difficult times. That's pile number two's energy here. So take what resonates. I also feel like you don't stay around people permanently. Okay, this is something to make you attractive. Like you're temporary, and it's not a bad thing, but it's like what I'm picking up is like pound number 3. You remind me a lot of Lori Harvey. You may be a Capricorn, but if not, it's like when it comes to your relationships, it's like if somebody's mistreating you, or if you're going down different paths than somebody else, it's like you're not going to give up your career for them. So you end the relationship. If somebody's disrespecting you or harming you in some way, or you just feel like the love is gone, you leave the relationship. So it's like you like people think about the memory of you a lot, and this is something that makes you attractive because it's like when you leave, you stay gone. You're not the off and on type. You may have used to entertain that in the past, but you've evolved past that. You've grown past that, okay? So with the impermanence, it's like you could be places very temporary. And I feel like if people didn't value your presence, they do now. Okay, that's a side note for someone. The next card we have is everyone is a teacher. So it's like you learned the lessons from your past. Okay, that's what I'm picking up. Like you've evolved, you've grown, you graduated to a new level of thinking spiritually, emotionally. Okay, spiritually and emotionally, you've elevated. You understand why certain things had to happen. And this is something that people find attractive. You have magic. So you could be somebody who's into magic or you believe in magic. And it's like your energy is magical. Literally, when you go places, it's like you light up the room. It's like you make things come to life. That's your energy. And this is something that people find attractive about you. We have ultimate potential. So I feel like you live your life in a way that you don't limit yourself, like you try different avenues. You could have multiple hobbies or careers here and you just do what feels comfortable and what you feel called to do. I feel like you don't allow people to stand in your path and tell you what you should do and what you shouldn't do. This is something that makes you attractive. You can have a little bit of a stubborn streak, pile number 3, but it works in your favor because you don't allow people to boss you around, okay? You don't allow people to project onto you or try to keep you stuck. You don't like that. I feel like you move like with the waves. So if somebody is acting crazy, you move around. And this goes for people, this goes for jobs, this goes for just any type of toxic situation, like you remove yourself. And this is something that people find attractive. You also could have really good taste in music, okay? People find that attractive. You could be like a person that makes podcasts, or you could be like a talk show radio host, and this is something people find attractive. So again, that's pile number two's energy because that deals with the voice and communication. We have personal growth. Yes, I was just talking about this. So it's like you've moved towards a greater awareness and consciousness. And this is something that people find attractive. Like your appearance could be different, the way you talk could be different. It's like you fully come into yourself and you're no longer shy. Excuse me. These messages are coming through very quickly. So sometimes I like stutter, but just excuse that. Yeah, you've moved towards a greater consciousness and old habits and thoughts are falling away. So that could explain why I was picking up like you being impermanent, like old energy coming through. Like you've grown and you don't ever backtrack. You don't allow people to spin the block on you either. It's like if something is in the past, you leave it in the past. And I'm hearing this song called Flowers. I'm gonna have to write it down. So I think you're gonna like it. All right. Alrighty, let's get some different cards. Pile number three. We're going to see what makes you attractive. So, what makes pile number three attractive, Spirit? Give us a few more cards before we get to the end. What makes my pile number twos attractive? I keep saying pile number two. Somebody needs to go watch pile number two. Pile number three. Pile number three. What makes pile number three attractive, Spirit? What makes pile number three attractive? What makes them attractive? So we have Scorpio energy. So you've had a shift in your beliefs, in your consciousness, in the way that you carry yourself. Scorpio is about transformation. You've transformed through a lot of experiences that were designed to break you, but you've overcome so much. Pile number three, like you could literally write an autobiography about your life because you've overcame so much. Okay. And this is something people find attractive. The strength and resilience you have. Okay. You're inspiring. What makes pile number three attractive? So I'm shuffling at the moment. So we have the card that says, I will do anything for you. So again, people want to just give to you. Pile number three, people would just simp for you and just do whatever you wanted them to. Okay, people don't mind. It's that energy of like people wanting to treat you like royalty. Pile number three. I feel like even if people aren't dating you, because this card says mine, even though people don't may not be in a relationship with you, it's like they're possessive over you. Or if you're in a relationship, pile number three, people get possessive over you. So I'm picking up. Okay, what makes pile number three attractive? Shuffling the final cards. Give me just a second. What makes pile number three attractive? Again, there's something about your taste in music. We got Neptune energy. We have Pisces. So, okay, you could be also very creative, or you're just somebody who likes to be in your own world, and people find this to be attractive. We have Willow Smith, Time Machine. So Willow Smith is also a Scorpio. So there's an emphasis on Scorpio energy. So with Time Machine, I was getting like people wish that they can go back in time. Like people wish that they can have a do-over with you. Like what makes you attractive, pile number three, is that you're unforgettable. It's like once people have you in their life and something goes wrong, like they'll be mad at you or they'll be mad at the situation, but it's like they can't stay mad at you. It's like your energy just melts, it melts their heart. It's something like that. Like you're irresistible, pile number three. So people from the past will still think about you because they can't forget you. Like you may have had some bad times with them, but when they think about it, they will want to have you in their life again. Okay. So we have that time machine for a reason. It says you act like a Scorpio. So we have Scorpio 3 times here, okay? So somebody is definitely a Scorpio in this pile. Maybe you like to, engage in scorpion energy, scorpionic energy. You may like to watch scary movies. This is some people find attractive. Maybe you go all out for Halloween, pound number 3. This is something people find attractive. So that may resonate with some people. You have this song called Solar Plexus by a group called Oshun. So again, your confidence and solar plexus is yellow, it's the light. So your energy really lights up a room. Okay, this is something people find attractive. The confidence that you've built over time. And then it says, I wish I could look like you. So you are very physically beautiful. And I feel like you take care of your beauty. It's like you may, do face masks, or you may get like little things from like, Ulta to help your skin, or you may make things. Like you really take good care of yourself. And we have Taurus energy. So it says you act like a Taurus. So you could be somebody who's very luxurious. Like, again, that's that royalty type of energy. And Leo energy is also royalty energy as well. Okay, so take what resonates. I feel like you love the finer things in life. I feel like you may like to drink like wine, or you like to eat cheese. There could be a tie to like France, or you could have a French ancestry, and people find this attractive. Maybe the certain wines you choose. Maybe when you host, like maybe you're good at hosting. Okay, that's what I'm picking up. I think I got a little bit of that in pile number 1 as well. So just take what resonates. But that's what makes you attractive. You have this sensuality to you. You have, you know, the sensuality, but it's not like an overt type of sensuality. It's more of like hidden, and you have to catch it. Like that's what that Scorpio energy is, like hidden, it's concealed, but you have to read between the lines. So that is what makes you attractive. Pile number 3. Let's read the channel messages, and then we're going to end this reading. So we're going to finish it off. So again, you can have a health regimen or a workout routine. This is what makes you attractive. You're classy. Okay. You don't let people get you out of character. You move in silence. Okay. So you could be a Capricorn here. And your style is always very well like aligned. You're always color coordinated. It's like it fits you and it accentuates your body. We already talked about Lori Harvey. Okay. There could be something about you being connected to like brand deals. You could be a Leo or a cardinal sign. So Capricorn is a cardinal sign, but you could be a Cancer, Libra, or Aries. Take what resonates. And then there was this song I got by the singer called Ray, and the song is about flowers. And basically, she's saying like, I don't need, you know, it's about a man. She was like, I don't need him to give me my flowers, so I can give them to myself. So it's like, again, your confidence and you giving your flowers to yourself. And again, that also to me symbolizes like people wanting to come back. So just listen to that song, because I feel like there may be a message for somebody here. And it's interesting how I talked about you having good music taste, and then that song came up, because I already have music channeled, but you have some more music. So you have like 1, 2, 3, 4 songs. Number 3. But yeah, that was your reading. Thank you so much for tuning in. I do have more in store, so just, be on the lookout for that. Peace. Mwah.